pedal to the meadow. Get ready, away. We on that next level.
A very good afternoon, everyone. Thank you all for joining in. We'll wait for all the educators to join in for another 2 to 3 minutes. And till then, I would like to present my screen and I would like to also share a QR code with you all for today's event so that if you do not have Adobe Premium licenses so far, you can just scan in the QR code and get those licenses right away. Just allow me to present my screen. So yeah, that's the QR code for you all. Please scan this QR code so that you have your licenses activated and you have access to Adobe Express Premium licenses. So on behalf of Adobe and Team CBSE, a warm welcome to all of you today. All the educators and school leaders joining us today from various states and districts and cities of India, a very warm welcome to you all. Our team has created an action-packed agenda for today as well, just like our last two sessions that you guys thoroughly enjoyed and have given us wonderful, wonderful feedback. Thank you all for sending in that to us. Throughout our session today, we would love to keep you engaged and also support you with how you can access Adobe Express for your schools with single sign-in options. Now, you all know that CBSE and Adobe have collaborated on the digital creativity skills, a new topic that is coming for you all that you will be introducing in your respective schools from the new academic session that is set to begin. We are honored and very privileged to support you in bringing out the desired impact. So before we begin again, I would just like to give you a reminder that in the last two sessions, you would have accessed Adobe Express using your cbsedigital.edu.in email IDs. In case you still haven't completed the activation process, I would love for you to scan the QR code right now, or you will also find a link in the chat box that you can use to register with us. Once you send us all your details, we will then share, you will get an email from Adobe that will allow you to activate your licenses for today's session as well. Please make sure that you're sharing all the details with us so that it is a seamless process for our technical team to support you and provide you with Adobe Express Premium licenses. And the second half of the session, we will also be working on some projects and our assignment for today, which is why you will definitely need to log into Adobe Express and sort of get in the hands-on agenda for today. Also, I would like to give a reminder for all the schools in which the deployments have already been done. They can use their school email IDs and log into Express. Reminder, as per the CBSE curricular, you know that there are about 6 sessions. We are already into our third session today, and it is mandatory for all the educators to join these sessions, create their projects, and submit on the link that we will be providing at the end of the session today. Now, today we are into third session, which is going to be on digital creativity in your daily classroom and curriculum using Adobe Express. And for that, I have two very special guests joining us today. I have with us Tim Kitchen, who works as an evangelist at Adobe and is joining us directly from Melbourne, live from Melbourne, Australia. Thanks, Tim, for making out the time. I also have Ms. Aarti Chopra, who is an Adobe education leader and a principal at Amity International School, Sector 46, Gurugram. She's going to also talk about how her school has been using Express and how the teachers in the school and the students have been using Express into their, and also sort of integrating seamlessly into their daily classroom and curriculum. So yeah, over to you, Tim, first. And yeah, would love for you to start sharing and presenting whatever you have in for us today.
Thank you, Jasmeet. And let me start by saying what a privilege it is to be involved in this webinar. It's always wonderful to connect with India. And my name, as you heard is Dr. Tim Kitchen. I'm Adobe's Senior Education Specialist for the Asia Pacific region, based in Melbourne, Australia. Well, we think it is anyway. And I've promised Jasmeet that I will not mention the World Cup more than 10 times during this session. So I just won't go there for you. So hopefully not. Now, I've been an educator for over 30 years. 23 years in the classroom as a classroom teacher in primary, secondary, and in higher education. And over the last 11 years, I've been working in this role with Adobe, and I get to go to schools and universities all over the Asia Pacific region, encouraging creativity with the use of Adobe tools, which is a real privilege, and it's a wonderful opportunity. Look, the problem that we've had for many years is that not all students have access to a laptop or a desktop that can effectively run Adobe's professional tools. So that was a big motivation to create Adobe Express. We've invested more creative possibilities in a low-powered machine like a Chromebook or just a very low-powered laptop or desktop. And we've made Adobe Express a browser-based tool that is just incredible. It's amazing to work with, and I'm going to give you some examples. This is a video that I made as soon as Adobe Express was relaunched again at the beginning of, well, I'm trying to remember now, it was about 2 years ago when it was relaunched as Adobe Express. So this gives you a bit of an understanding if you're new to Adobe Express. Adobe Express has been totally reimagined. Adobe Express for K-12 schools is amazing. Lots of great new templates for posters, slide presentations and infographics specifically set up for students and teachers. Real-time collaboration is a feature. There are new ways of linking Photoshop and Illustrator to Adobe Express, and for Chromebook users, the new Adobe Express is a more seamless and accessible experience. But what I'm most excited about is the new Animate from Audio Quick Action and the new all-in-one multimedia editor that allows students to create virtually anything that comes to their imagination. All right, that just gives you a little taster, and I'm going to give you a resource after my session that takes you to where you can find that video, plus a whole lot of short tutorials that I've been creating to help teachers and students work with Adobe Express. I mainly work with Australian teachers, and what I'm seeing from teachers and from students using Adobe Express are incredible things. We're seeing infographics, newsletters, videos, Gen AI images, posters, animated GIFs, logos, animations, resumes, certificates, web pages, concept maps, digital portfolios, album covers, comic strips, greeting cards, slide presentations, Gen AI fonts, that's right, creating fonts that have never been used. You name it, you can create it with Adobe Express. It's just an amazing tool, and it's so much fun to play with, and it's so simple to work with. Before I jump into Adobe Express and maybe do a little workshop with you, if you're already opened up Adobe Express already, feel free to work with me. But while you're logging on and making sure you've got access, I want to play this little clip that gives you, we're not going to play all of it, just a bit of this clip that gives you some examples of what teachers in New South Wales, Sydney, are thinking and saying about Adobe Express. A group of New South Wales teachers visited the Adobe Sydney office for an Adobe Express Expressify workshop. Let's find out what they learned about this amazing set of browser-based applications to help teaching and learning.
So what I've learnt today is how easy it can be to inject some creativity into teaching resources, and it was really beneficial coming here because the way it's explained to you is so simple and easy to just launch straight in and start using the tools, and then consequently great to be able to then show your students as well.
One thing that I've learned even from a multimedia teacher's point of view is the AI feature of removing backgrounds from videos on a web-based platform, which like Adobe Express, which is something I've never experienced before.
And that was so cool to show him that, because he's a very experienced multimedia teacher. And when he saw that you could actually remove backgrounds, in Adobe Express without having to film on a green screen and open up a program like Premiere Pro and go through all those processes, which 90% of teachers and students aren't going to bother learning about. You can just do it with clicking one button. It's just incredible. It's one of the many things you can do with Adobe Express. All right, I've opened up Adobe Express and I've got it now in the shared screen. And the first thing that you can see is straight away, it basically guides you as to what you want to create. You can create a presentation, a flyer, or a poster, or an Instagram post, or a web page, or a video, or an infographic. You can choose those straight away. And when you click some of these, you can go into the templates that are there, or you can just start from scratch. You get those options straight away. As you scroll down a little bit in what I call the dashboard, the very first page of Adobe Express, it takes you into some of the Gen AI tools. This one I don't think you've got available yet because it's still in beta, but these you do have: text to image, generated fill, and text effects. I'm looking forward to sharing the text to template. Can you imagine just typing in a prompt of a template that you want, and then 10 seconds later, it's created for you? That's what we've got, and that's what you can look forward to. Now, Aarti, we've done a few sessions together over the years, and I'm going to put you on the spot right now. And you and I are going to create an image with Gen AI. And just before we get started and we activate the Gen AI tool, I just want to show you one more thing. These quick actions: removing background, like I said before, resizing an image, converting to a GIF, cropping an image, trimming a video, creating a QR code, resizing a video, and that animate from audio tool that I mentioned in the video. They're just some of the many, many quick actions. If you clicked view all, you could see all of them. Photoshop, you've got these quick actions that do the basics of Photoshop. Instead of opening up Acrobat, you've got some quick actions that do the basics of Acrobat and PDF manipulation. Instead of opening up Premiere Pro, you've got the basics of video editing here as browser-based quick actions. So much fun. Have a look at them when you get a chance. All right, T, let's go with this. I'm going to click on this little prompt area. Artie, what's your favorite animal? What animal comes to mind at the moment for you?
All right. So I can think of kangaroo.
Kangaroo. You just said that because I'm from Australia, didn't you? All right, I'm going to do. Now, Artie, what's the kangaroo wearing today?
Oh, he's wearing a Modi jacket, a half sleeves jacket.
A jacket? Okay. Now, what color
A
is the
jacket.
jacket?
Red color.
A red jacket. And whereabouts is the kangaroo located?
In a jungle.
In a jungle. Okay. Haven't seen kangaroo. This should be fun. All right, let's have a look at this prompt again. A kangaroo wearing a red jacket in a jungle, and I'm clicking the generate button. What it usually does, it takes about 10 seconds, and we should start seeing 4 different options appearing straight away, with the first of the 4 oh wow, that was quicker than 10. Choose from right now. There's your first one. There's your second one. There's your third one. That's cute. There's your fourth one. Oh my goodness, what's in the background there? It's some jungle animal that's been made up. All right, Artie, which one of those 4 do you like best? 1, 2, 3, or 4?
I like the third one.
The third one. I think I like that one too. All right, so we've created, this will become the background to a short little video that we're going to create. Now, I want you to imagine you're doing an introduction to a unit of work on the solar system or on climate change, or it doesn't matter what the topic is, you can just really quickly create an image using this Gen AI tool. And the great thing about this is all the images that are there, there's probably, Artie, I'd say there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, probably up to 6 to 10 different images that have been merged together. Every one of those images is from Adobe Stock, but not only the generalized area of Adobe Stock that many people use all over the world. All of our television networks here in Australia rely on Adobe Stock every day for their news services and so on. This is a special K-12 friendly version of Adobe Stock that comes through when you log in as a school teacher or a school student. properly with your email address, you get the K-12 version. So you get the premium K-12 version. Therefore, if you type in anything inappropriate, it's not going to come up. So we've got all these extra filters that we apply. Plus, you've got your own school filters as well. So there's 2 layers of security there. So we're really, really careful about the ethics behind the way we use Gen AI. And we're very confident. Look, if you typed in a brand name, if you typed in Spider-Man, it's not going to come up because of copyright concerns. So we always try to keep things as ethical as possible. And that's the beauty of using Adobe Express for your Gen AI image creation, as opposed to some other alternatives, one of which is currently being sued by Getty because they're just grabbing images from anywhere. So be really careful with when you're using Gen AI image creation tools, and be assured that if you do it through Adobe Express, it is ethically safe and the students can publish what they create. That's the important thing. All right, Artie, let's do, so what's the name of this kangaroo? Have we got a name for it?
You can call him Catty the kangaroo.
Gatty.
K-A-T-Y, Catty.
All right. Catty. I'm going to click on the text tool, and I could use some of these amazing text templates, but I'm just going to keep this simple and click Add Your Text and type in K-A or C-A?
K.
K-A. K-A-T-T-Y, is that right?
Yeah.
All right. I'm just going to leave Catty over there for the moment. And once I've selected or I've created a text, you can see some more AI tools have appeared. Like, for instance, it's recommending different fonts, different styles that I could potentially use if I'm not really being overly creative at the moment. I'm going to stick with this one because it's nice and thick, because I want to show you one really cool feature. As we scroll down past all these amazing tools where I could change the font and the size, all the basics of a desktop publisher are sitting there for you. I could make this an arch if I wanted to, but I don't want to in this case. So I'm going to undo that with my undo tool at the top here. I could change the color or the outline thickness, all the basic tools. But down here is an amazing tool called Text Effects. Now, if I click on that, we could describe a texture and create a font that's never existed ever in the history of this planet. Artie, what's a texture that would relate to a kangaroo potentially for this font?
Okay. Let's go in for the medium.
What sort of texture? You think maybe hairy or furry or...
Yeah, furry would be good.
Furry. Okay, I'll just type in furry. Let's see what happens. I'm going to click the generate button. There are lots of recommended textures here, samples and so on, but I love it when the students create their own ideas. Now, again, we should, about 10 seconds, we'll get 4 different results. The first of them is starting to come up already in the name, as you can see, and that will appear here. And then we'll get 3 other options. And if we're not happy with the first one, we could select the second, the third, or the fourth. What I didn't show you earlier is all the other things which you can't see here, but if we were back with the original image, there's artistic styles. We could make it more of a realistic kangaroo with a photo of a kangaroo. We could change the style totally to fit a particular art theme. There's so many options. This is all powered by Adobe Firefly, which is our Gen AI engine behind a lot of our tools now. We're getting more and more of Firefly integrated. All right, for the sake of time, Artie, I'm going to stick with that option. And what we're going to do now is I want to turn this from a still image into a video. So we're going to get the text to fly in from the right. To do that, I highlight the text and I scroll down past text effects. I'm going to scroll down. I'm not going to put a drop shadow. Oh, I could put a drop shadow just to make it pop out a little bit more. I'll make the drop shadow nice and bright. There we go. So we can see it a little bit more. So I'll do that. I'll go past the drop shadows and I won't add a shape, but I will add an animation. And by clicking the animation tool, I can choose to animate it in. And what was I thinking to fly? Do I have a fly? We've got a drift. We've got a drop. We've got a grow. We've got quite a few options. Do you have a preference there, Artie, as to which animation type we should use?
Maybe spin.
spin. Let's have a look at spin. Where's spin?
Down.
Spin. There we go. So spin is there. Do you like that one?
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to click spin, and then I can change the duration, make it a little bit longer, and give the personality a bit more, maybe a bit smoother. And the direction at the moment is spinning in from the right. We could spin it in from the left, and we could change the direction that it spins. So we've got all those different options. Once we've animated it into the scene, we can also have it moving while it's in the scene. So it's moved in, it's spun in, and now maybe we'll choose breathing. So once it's in, it'll keep moving all the time, just to keep the interest of the audience. So now it's created a timeline. And if I hit the play button, it's coming in straight away. But I don't want it to come in straight away. I want it to come in maybe 1 second after the kangaroo has appeared. So I'm going to click this button down the bottom that says Show Layer Timing. By opening that up, I now have a layer that represents the text. And I can then adjust timing. I want it to come in around about then. So I'll take the playhead back to the start, hit the play button. I see the kangaroo and bang, it comes in about a second later, maybe a little bit after that. So I'll try that again, hit the play button and bang, there it is. And it's still moving within the scene. And we're starting to create a little animated video. I always like bringing in music at this point because I like to animate to music. So I'm going to jump over to the media tool. And when I go to media, we've got 3 options of media that we can bring in from Adobe Stock. Again, ethically safe, media that can be published by your students and your teachers. Photos, millions of photos. Videos, hundreds and thousands of videos and audio files. Let's go do a search for happy, I think this is a happy kangaroo. Let's see if we can find some happy music. 1,168 little sound loops that are happy. Let's listen to the first one. For the sake of time, Artie, I'm going to stick with that one. So I'm going to click on that one, and now that music comes into the scene. I'll take the playhead back to the start, and now we'll have music. And I'm thinking now that the music's there, I want to readjust my animation to be in time with the music. So probably about then, just with the, I've got 1 bar of just the kangaroo, and then 1 bar with the 3, and then comes in. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. See how much control you have with every aspect, and you can bring in hundreds and hundreds of different elements if you want to, if you have the time, but that's the process. Bring the elements in. There's a little button called Elements, which has hundreds and hundreds of really cool little, if I do a search for, I'll search for animals. Let's see what comes up. I haven't done that before. So here we go. Lots of different animals. Let's just bring in some puppy dogs. Why not? Why not, Artie? Why not bring in some puppy dogs just because we can? And with those puppy dogs that are sitting down there, I want them to appear after the name that comes in. So I'll just have it maybe drop in from the top. And then while it's in there, we'll have them bob up and down as they're coming in. Haven't spent a lot of time on this, so just here we go, music. We've got the title, and then the puppy dogs come in, and then we're ready to go to the next scene. If I go to the next scene, maybe this time with my media tool, I could choose some videos. I wonder if we've got any kangaroo videos. Let's see, I'm not sure. Oh, 13 kangaroo videos. As I hover over them, I'm looking for one that's reasonably animated. That one's pretty good. So I'll click on that one. I'll make it a bit shorter. And now when I take the playhead back to the start, oh, little bit of an issue there. I'm going to put a transition in so we've got a nice maybe push from one scene to the other. Let's see what that looks like. It's having a bit of an issue with that particular video, it looks like, but I won't spend too much more time on it. I'll make it a little bit bigger so it fills the screen. Look, there's so many things you can do with this. And what I love about it is it's so simple to work with. And once we've created our video, we've put in the different elements, we've got it the way we want it to look, all we need to do then is go up to the download button and we could download it as an MP4 video. Or we could go to the share button and share it directly with Microsoft Microsoft Teams or Google Classrooms or whatever your learning management system is. We can go straight into there. Or if the school allows you to, you could share it on the open internet. But a lot of schools don't allow for that particular feature for obvious reasons. Folks, there's one more thing I wanted to show you. Artie, if we had time, I would click this little button here and I would put your email address and I would invite you to collaborate with me. So you and I could be working on this video together at the same time. And maybe have it three, or I could get Jasmeet to join me as well. And maybe Garima if she's on the call. And the four of us, and it's so much fun because you see all their cursors floating around the screen. And within a few minutes, we've created this amazing video together. Only I, as the project owner, can do the exporting, but I can invite as many people as I want to keep building it with me. So much fun.
Tim, I think we're losing you there. There was some lag in your voice.
Have I got more time? There's a bit of lag there, isn't there? Is there someone who can tell me if I've got a few more minutes, or am I out of time now?
I think we can jump into the next part now that we have the videos and our teachers are picking their brains that, okay, we got this video. Now, how do I put it into my subject? Where do I integrate it? What would I do if I was, let's say, a science teacher or a social science teacher or an English teacher? How would I bring about creativity in my classroom using this tool, using Adobe Express? So that is something that I think I would like to put both of you through. Like, this is a question that I'm going to throw at both of you, that how do you think the subject teachers can integrate creativity in their classroom using Adobe Express? Not sure who would like to go first, but maybe ladies first this time. Aarti, ma'am, would you like to take this up?
All right, sure. Thank you, Jasmeet. And thank you, Tim, for that lovely session. Yeah. How can the teachers integrate Adobe creativity in the classroom? That's really a very, very pertinent issue. And I think teachers at all the levels, right from the pre-primary to middle and senior school, depending upon the age of the students, can create new videos depending on the age group and the topics that they are teaching. So that is extremely essential, that if a teacher of primary could come up with interesting stories, a teacher of, senior secondary teaching chemistry or periodic table could come up with chemical bonding or some very interesting topics on Adobe Express. Not only this, the teachers can also enhance the reading expressions of the students and listening expressions of the students through Adobe. And the third thing is that the creativity in the classrooms, the creative expressions, these days children are definitely more digital than they were 10 years back. They love to express themselves freely with the digital tools, and Adobe provides all those possibilities. Children can explore and use various tools to come up with their creativity in their classrooms. Not only this, there are subjects which involves biographies, where we need to study about the various scientists or those who have made a difference to the life of children, or those who have come up with important innovations, the scientists, the innovators. So the history timeline can be created by the teachers, and this can be made very interesting. The mathematics as a subject, different tools, different kinds of shapes, they can be projected. The concept clarity can be done by, showing the digital inputs. And then every video the background can be changed. It can be resized. It can be readapted. One can add one's own voice to it. In fact, now AI can be used in it. You can change the form, the concept. One only needs to imagine. So I think the creativity, letting the children think on their own is very important. And we are basically drifting away from rote learning and cramming to a system where there is more of competency-based learning, where the knowledge which, children are having, they add skills to it. And 21st century skills are so important to be incorporated in the classrooms, which teachers can do by using Adobe tools. In the social studies, as I said, the topics of geography, archaeology, reinventing history and projecting it with the help of the tools of Adobe can make it very interesting, as well as the scientific inventions and innovations can be projected very beautifully. So it's not only the presentation skills, but it is also learning that can become more easier, more adaptable with the use of Adobe tools.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And I agree
I
to
can
the
just
point
go
that,
on.
yeah, I'm sure you can. Yes, I know that. But in the interest of time, I think we'll have to switch to Tim now and sort of get some insight on how are the teachers in Australia maybe using Adobe Express and how are they trying their students to bring in digital creativity through the tool?
I'm glad you asked me that, Jasmine, because I'm just going to share my screen again because I've got the Australian curriculum website here. Let's see if I can share that particular screen. There we go. So what you're seeing here is a section of the Australian curriculum called the General Capabilities, which is what every teacher in Australia is encouraged and really should be integrating into every subject area, into every key learning area. So literacy and numeracy are obvious. I mean, that's part of what schooling's been about for 200 years. Information and communications technologies, that is a really important capability. And in Australia, this particular part of the curriculum was designed for us in 2010. So since 2010, we've had critical and creative thinking as a key capability alongside literacy and numeracy in the Australian curriculum. So we have a mandate from our policymakers in Australia to encourage creativity in our curriculum in as many areas as we can, plus a few others: personal and social capability, ethical understanding, and intercultural understanding. All really important factors. So when teachers are encouraged to be creative, sometimes that's really hard because they don't quite know what to do. And I often think back to the Bloom's taxonomy, which I'll just stop sharing there for the moment. There we go. Bloom's taxonomy. Benjamin Bloom, he was an education psychologist back in the 1950s. And back in 1956, he created this taxonomy where teachers should be aiming to go to the peak of the taxonomy, which is the creative side, creative thinking, creativity. Right down the bottom of the taxonomy is remembering facts and figures for an exam. And so often what we get stuck in is at that bottom level. And we forget that we've got so much more that we should be doing as educators to encourage deeper learning. And the more we can be creative in no matter what subject it is, whether it's math, science, the so-called non-creative subjects, which is not quite true. They're incredibly creative subjects, really, through the traditional creative subjects like music and media and arts and IT. All of those subjects should be encouraging creativity. So when you're setting up your assessments, what Australian teachers are encouraged to do is to think, well, rather than just doing an essay, let's maybe do a podcast. Rather than just doing a standard poster with cutting and pasting, why don't we create an infographic with Adobe Express? Rather than doing a book report, a traditional book report handwritten, why don't we do a video documentary about the book and get a group of students who have read the book to work on that together? There's so many ways that we can be using these incredibly creative tools to help rise up Bloom's taxonomy to that creative peak and encourage deeper learning.
Well, that's amazing, Tim, because I'm just thinking about how we see a lot of digital creators these days and how our students can learn to be digital creators already. And how you just mentioned that rather than just giving an assignment, we will do a podcast, and that's something amazing. Don't you agree, Aarti ma'am? Like, if students are asked to do something like that, they're also innovative and creative these days. I'm sure they would come up with like 100 of examples and ideas on how they can do that.
Absolutely, they can, because they love to do projects. They love to do research. Most of our academics now in India also is research driven, especially from the middle section itself. And that is what is bringing about a change. We can see that there's a lot of emphasis on art integration. Art per se is not just, fine art, but art is theater, art is dance, art is anything that has got to do visual and performing arts. So we are not just treating it separately, but integrating it in the main curriculum. So that is, bringing about a lot of difference. And students of all levels, very bright, extremely bright, mediocres, as well as those who are slightly challenged, they are able to come out with their fears and embrace learning in a very nice manner, thanks to such tools which are provided by Adobe. And also, as the students do a lot of problem-based learning, PBL learning in our schools, project-based learning in our schools, and also experiential learning, they are growing beyond the textbooks, beyond the walls of the classrooms, and beyond the periphery of their own country. As after COVID, there are no walls to a classroom. Classroom is grown beyond, thanks to the internet. Students have an access to what is happening in the rest of the world as well. The competency-based learning and the skill-based learning that has brought about a very big shift. And with the coming in of new education policy, we have subjects like design thinking, financial marketing management, health sciences, AI, artificial intelligence, data science, all these subjects being taught from grade 6 itself. So the skill building, along with the knowledge imparting and having the right attitudes, is making a lot of difference. There are so many intangibles of education as well, which are not visible as such on the report cards of the children, which are getting ingrained in the way the curriculum is disseminated. Things like bagless days, when the children come absolutely free of any stress into the schools, and they don't have the pressure of performing, and they just work with their own hands. So these kinds of expressions are leading to deeper learning experiences, and learning is happening really in a very, very nice manner. The teachers are also changing their roles. They're no longer teachers, they are becoming more of facilitators. So the principals are walking the talk and, embracing this new challenges very, very amicably.
Yes, and I couldn't agree more, ma'am. I think India is also changing so rapidly, and so is our education system. And with all the changes that have come in with the NEP, with the NCF document, all of these changes have provided, I think, a very large spectrum for all our educators to sort of work upon, to sort of see how they can empower the students now and like get them ready for this digital age. So yeah, I think it's truly commendable whatever is happening in and around us right now. All right, so thank you so much. Thanks a lot, Tim. I know it is going to be really late for you over there. So I would like to thank you on behalf of all of us for joining us for the session and providing us with such insights about the Australian education system and how they are bringing in creativity. And of course, for the beautiful presentation that you did with the kangaroo. I'm sure every one of us would go back home and sort of try that out on our own. So yeah, thanks a lot. Thank you, Tim.
Jasmeet, I'm just going to put in the chat here for those who are on MS Teams the link to the Adobe Education Exchange. And can I just have 30 seconds just to show
Yes,
what the exchange
please.
looks like? Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm just going to share my screen quickly here because this is an incredible resource if you're not quite sure where to go or what to do or how to get started. When you log in, it looks like this. It'll have your name. And then when you scroll through, you can see there are 3 sections: teaching resources, professional learning, and our community. The thing that the place to get started is teaching resources. And when you click on the teaching resources tab, what's wonderful is you can filter out just your area that you focus on. So if I go to explore now, we should be able to see the filter on the left-hand side where you can choose the age level that you're working with. So it might be secondary years 9 to 12. It's very generalist. It's aimed for the whole globe. So it may not be specifically for in India, but it might be a humanities, so history that you're teaching. And then you can be looking at what applications you want to work with. So we'll focus on Express. We'll get rid of everything else but Express. And then you can start to filter out parts of the Adobe Education Exchange that are just related to what you're thinking of. And these are resources, they're lesson plans, they're tutorials, they're ideas that have been created by educators around the world to help other educators. That's why we call it the Adobe Education Exchange. And we have an incredible community of well over 1 million. I think we're getting close to 2 million teachers, at least on the edX at this stage. And if you want to do some more professional learning, you can go to the professional learning tab and just see what's available on demand and be part of this incredible community. So I thought I'd leave that with you because it's an incredible resource that I'm very, very proud of.
Yeah, Tim, and I agree. It's a beautiful resource for all the educators, and all the educators who use this resource love it. So yeah, thanks a lot for sharing that with our audience today. Thank you so much. And I will now just give the entire platform to Aarti ma'am to showcase and display whatever work her school has been doing. So thanks, Tim. Bye-bye. Take care.
All the best.
Yeah.
Bye, everybody.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah.
And
All
I think
right.
before Aarti ma'am begins, I would like to do justice to her profile. We have all known her, might have seen her somewhere or the other. She has worked for more than about 18 years as principal and in her school, Amity International School, Sector 46, Gurgaon. And she was recently recognized for NECA Award certification and SVP Award. She's also been the torchbearer in amalgamating technology and ICT tools in learning process and curricular development. She's been bestowed with honors like 8-year leader, Microsoft Innovative Educator Expert, and fellow and Adobe Education Leader. So we're all very, very thrilled to have her rich experience amongst us today so that she can talk us through and let us know what is that one thing that her school has been doing for so long, which provides us this vast canvas to the teachers, to the students, and what she has been doing differently with her school. So over to you, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Jasmeet. And you said so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, so it's a pleasure to be here, first of all. And I'm thankful to CBSC and Adobe for giving me this opportunity to share my learning with all of you. What you can see on my screen is how exactly we have excited our teachers to use Adobe tools so that they could be the better leaders, they could be better educators. The creativity that has got unleashed with Adobe Express is something I will share with you. And this is something that has not happened overnight. And this is something which is the hard work of over a period of time. And much before COVID, when we embraced the learning with Adobe tools, I felt that we were in that inspirational phase. When we were getting influenced, getting a lot of ideas, our children were getting excited. And then came this absorbing and processing stage when children started adapting, started using the tools. And then came the eureka moment when the children quite got a hang into it. And from tech for good, we moved on to AI for good. AI started getting integrated in the classrooms, and their products, their work was ready to be shared with the world. As we move along, Adobe has been able to influence all the pillars of education. And it has helped us to make, future-ready technology leaders. Technology has been a force multiplier for teachers. It has added so many qualities to a teacher's performance because children, the learners of 21st century are pretty tech savvy. So it's important for teachers to embrace technology much in advance than them. And at many places, they're co-learners. The teachers are facilitators too, and the content delivery is now done with the help of technology. Students are definitely the task enablers. From becoming just followers, they are now enablers, and the capacity building of teachers in line with new education policy, as the government has announced that every teacher, irrespective of which class, which standard, or which age group of children she handles, has to have 50 hours of training. This is taken in very, very seriously by CBSE through our Center of Excellences across the country. And of course, the capstone projects is the experiences and innovations that each school is now able to do with a lot of emphasis and the help of CBSE and the tools of Adobe. We have a number of things that we are able to manage. Managing the emotions with Adobe Express, it puts a smile on their faces when they use the tools. The children are able to integrate art and sports in their projects very nicely, guided by the teachers. The pedagogical approaches to learning have been pretty active. We believe in active learning, experiential learning, authentic or integrating the real life experiences in the classrooms, the problem-based learning and design thinking, storytelling being a very, very powerful tool, to personalize the experiences and bring it in the classroom. The retention is much better. The proficiency in ICT tools with the help of Adobe, and also the enhancing the social skills by working in groups. The second C, the bigger C, that is collaboration, working in collaboration in peer groups, teacher-student groups. And for teachers, the PLNs, that is professional learning networks across schools, within different zones within the school has helped a lot. The teacher training, as I said, has also helped in understanding the flexible learning, that we give time to the students not only to learn in real time, but also distance learning, also hybrid experiences that we are giving, the multidisciplinary learning wherein one subject, rather the subjects are not taught in silos. They are all integrated with each other. A teacher is not just a science teacher. She's a teacher who integrates different learning experiences in the subject that she's teaching. The academic rigor in my school, in Amity, which holds everything together with the blessings of our chairperson, Dr. Mrs. Amita Chauhan, who is the person behind all the, planning and its execution. We are able to bring in technology at par with any best school in the world. You can see over here different creations done by grade 1 children, wherein they have explored with water. This is a multidisciplinary project where water is not just taught in a silo in a subject called environment studies or science, but it is integrated with physics, with mathematics, with languages. So water being a precious resource by class 2 students, I would like to show you that how different subjects have used the tools of Adobe to make the learning really happen. So young students of grade 3 have used this, and guided by our visionaries, their English or language experiences have been phenomenal. Different activities like jam sessions, just a minute activity, flashcard activities, water, just 1 minute activity, and in languages like Hindi, Jal Sanrakshan, with this kind of a theme. So a topic is taken and it is taught in all the subjects. The presentations are made by the students, and and the work is compiled in a beautiful manner so that it stays with the parents, community, as well as with all the teachers year after year. It is established, it is published for everyone to see, and the learning outcomes are met. So, I would like to say that this kind of a learning experience wherein the tools come in handy has really led to a lot of development. I'll show you another example of nutrition, another project which was done in an integrated problem-based learning manner. You can see that how youngsters have delved deep into food and nutrition, starting from honey in one particular subject, moving on to how to, say no to junk food, their jam sessions, their various activities, all these things have been presented. Their role plays, as I said, theater plays a very big role in the life of children. So I can assure you that compilation of these activities and taking it home, seeing their own work, students of the primary have been really excited. Coming to the senior school now, the children of the middle school, as well as, children who are at their best in topics like human migration, moving on to water conservation, moving ahead with even elucidating the various facts about their own country, creating mind maps. The teachers themselves are at it, working on different Sanskrit, Hindi, French worksheets and assignment, creating our own chronicle, which is Amikruti. I can show you this. So Amikruti is our own chronicle, our school's chronicle, our newsletter, wherein every month the activities are projected with the help of Adobe tool. And you can see the creative expressions of the children are captured beautifully, their poetic expressions, the school achievements, the school events. So all these things are sent to the parents, you can say our investiture, and various other prize-winning entries. So the chronicle development with the help of Adobe tools has been a very big change maker, and it has brought about huge development, sending the messages in the form of posters at different levels. Grade 11 students working on Adobe, they come up with wonderful videos. Just to show you one or two, I think they are really very serious about their work and they're able to display things very nicely. Right. So there are children who have taken part in various national and international competitions, and they have done exceedingly well. I can talk about Meri Mati Mera Desh, the event held at Adobe, wherein our children got first prize in the national level. And it was all done with the help of Adobe tools. And the work that the students had done was amazing. It was very, very creditable. I can just show you a few of their works because it's a lot, and though there are links, I can assure you that the creativity and the thought process that they have been nurturing, the tools of Adobe are able to provide them wings to fly, which is so essential at their age. Getting them engaged in creative works is our responsibility as school leaders, and definitely enhancing their experiences, taking part in workshops and panel discussions conducted by Adobe has helped in a big way, and working with CBS as CBSE resource person, taking Adobe tools ahead has been an amazing experience too. So that was about, Adobe tools that we have been using in the classroom. and it has been a very wonderful experience. Definitely, I would like you people to also see some of the tools, how they can be used. So I would like to show you one or two tools so that, when you are practicing on Adobe Express, yeah, Garim, Jasmeet, do we have time?
I think we have time, and we also have some questions, I think, in the question and answer section. So
All right.
let me just ask someone to put those questions across. Niharika, can we have a couple of questions, please?
Hi, Jasmeet. Yeah, there are particularly one question that everyone is asking. They want to understand the steps on how to publish the collateral, the creative that has been done on Adobe Express. So if you can just walk them through the steps to publish their work, that would be great.
All
Sure,
right.
thanks, Niharika. I'm sure ma'am would like to take that up.
Yeah, sure. So
All right.
I'll to demo this. Yeah. So I'll be sharing my screen. And as you know, when you go on express.adobe.com, this is the page that you get to see. And if you have already got the license from Adobe, which they are offering on the school email ID, so you get to see this education icon as well. So these are, I think, Tim has already explained different possibilities that exist. So I would like to show you how we can publish something so that you get an idea. So when you go on this plus button, you get to see two powerful things. One is create and the other is quick actions. So if I go on quick actions and take up animate from audio, this is one possibility that is very much in front of us. Suppose I take up a character, say Mush Love. Though there are many, creatures, there are costume characters, there are also all people characters, there are creatures that you can take. So suppose we go ahead with Mush Love, okay? And now we want to animate this little figure. So all I need to do is to go and press record button. So I'm going to record something here and I'll show you how it will start animating and then how it can be published and saved on your desktop and can be inserted in any web page or in any PowerPoint presentation wherever you want to. So I press record. Hi, everyone. This is Mush Love. I am a very happy person. Of course, you can build a big story or you can come up with some more innovative ideas. And now what you can see happening over here is, there's a very interesting tree. You can see some creatures sitting on it. You can see this data getting exported. And you can see that now 71% of this data has got exported. And now it's 92%. And now you can see it's just getting wrapped up, right? So now it is telling us, download your MP4 or open an Adobe Express to add filters, text, animation, and more. So if you want to just download this as it is, just to understand this complete process, if I go on download, and I get to see that I already have Mush Love MP4 in my download sections. And once I press on this, you get to see. Hi, everyone. This is Mush Love. I am a very happy person. Love you all. So I hope you all understood. When you go on these three dots and you get to see downloads, you have your download saved here. So all you need to do is you can just go there and publish this. So this is one example of how you can publish your little creative work. And the next is, suppose you go on text to image. This is also very, very interesting. Here you can, draw something or you can take something. Suppose I have taken up a few things and I have got this a journey to a memorable outdoor activity, camping experience. I've got a few lines jotted down, for example, just to save time. And a journey to a memorable outdoor activity where there were Western Ghats, a mountain range. The adventure was refreshing, right? This is the thought I have in my mind. I want to convert this into an image. The content type is graphic photo. I would like to go in for art, though you can do graphic and photo as well. And then you move further, and in which of these formats you would like to see. Suppose I choose not popular, but palette knife. Okay. And now if I press generate button, I will get 4 to 5 options from where I will be able to choose. But yes, this is the time the processing takes. You can see the big circle going round and round. Oh, yes. So this is what I imagine, mountain range and a traveler. I've got 4 images, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Suppose I go in for this one, right? Now, your question is, how do we download it? Right above this. First of all, you can further do a lot on it. You can add text to it. You can add media to it, right? And you can also download it as it is in PNG form, in JPG form, or in PDF form. Any of these forms. Suppose we say PNG, which is easiest to save. So within seconds, you can see the whole process gets completed. And there I have this in my download section, the image that I have just now created. Right. So I hope this bit is clear to everyone.
Yeah, ma'am.
And
Also, if you could just share how do we publish it by clicking on the share button?
all right. So if we go on share, and that's a very, very simple process. You would like to give a name to it. You can also add people who can access it, or you can say, suppose I say a picture of
So you can,
hills. Mm-hmm.
yeah, here is where
Yeah.
you put in my email ID and it will be shared with me. And then when you click on
Only,
publish
yeah,
to web, yeah.
only invited people can access. Suppose I say everyone with the link can access. All right. And I copy the link. First of all, I publish to web and it says untitled. I need to add a name to it. So once again, I write here hills, pick something easy. And this is the order. We want the order to be mentioned. We publish the link. This is how
Yeah.
it gets your design published. And you will get a link now, which you will be able to save. And you can share it with your friends. You can save this link with you in a Word file here. So it is copy the link. You can save it on your Word file, which is open. And suppose I save it over here. And this is the link I have. So here it is, the link. And if I pick up this link right now and put it in my, I can show it to you that this link can open and it will show you what I have created. Not only this, when you go back on your main page, it will be shown as reserve in my own creations. It will show your stuff. You go on your stuff and you will be able to see all the things that I have created now. This is your stuff. So in fact, if you press on these 3 buttons, you can also move it or rename it and shape it. And you can also download it from here. It will always remain. My presentation that I just made, that is also saved here forever. So this is like a reservoir of all the work that has been done. Right?
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you. This was wonderful. And thanks for sharing us all the insights, everything that your school has done. And I'm sure a lot of us took inspiration today on how our teachers will be able to use it in their daily classroom, how they can ask their students to sort of create presentations using templates. Also, a lot of videos, a lot of anime to audio options that you had shown us. So thanks Thanks again for everything. And yeah, with that, I think we would like to move to the last part of our session for today. So
Jasmeet.
our assignment for yes, Niharika, yeah.
Yeah, before moving to the last part, there are some teachers who are interested in understanding how, particularly in social science, in science, chemistry, they can use Express to make their teaching and learning process more innovative. So probably we can just walk them through some educational templates that have been designed
Yes,
for them. Thank you so
yes, sure,
much.
sure. I would do that. Yeah. Yeah, just give me a second. All right. I'm just going to start sharing my screen, and I was about to come to that after sharing the assignment, but let me do that before it. So I'm just going to start sharing my screen now. Allow me a second. Okay, I hope you all can see my screen. So before we do our assignment for the day, I hope you can see my Adobe Education Exchange screen. So here is where I will find a lot of teaching resources for myself. And what I had done was I had planned in those resource page, and you will see that this web page is going to be linked with the existing web page that you all have, where you can pick and choose whatever you teach. So for example, when I go to get started with Adobe Express Classroom Ideas, it takes me to a link where I will be exploring ideas for my classroom today. So for example, the first one, maths scavenger hunt. Find maths concept in the real world. So if you go through this activity, this is a short video that you'll see over here that takes you to a maths scavenger hunt activity. If I scroll down, I will see a history activity on cause and effect. Scrolling further down, there's an alien science experiment. For language teachers, we have character analysis. So all of these are short videos that have been created for a particular element. What I will do is I will pick one of these. So for example, if I go into language arts, character analysis, I click on get started now. For all my teachers, they should be knowing that for whatever they are trying to do, whatever they are trying to create, they can always search for inspiration on Adobe Exchange. And when they do come in here, they can find I would say a vast canvas of resources that is ready for them, that they can explore and that they can go through. Just allow me a second. It's taking a little while to upload. Let's try another one till then. Just give me a second. History. So it'll take me to Adobe Express and it'll allow me to design remix a post that has already been created. So that's what it does. And then at the bottom, you will see there are a lot of popular quick actions that have just come in that you can explore. And then there are more ideas for you to inspire your students. So if I click on get started now again, I can see so there's a playlist. There's a playlist for me on Joy of Creativity activities in curriculum. So you can see this entire playlist has maths activities, science activities, history activities, etc. So you all can explore these resources on Adobe Education Exchange. I'm going to go to the next part. Let's say I want to explore a couple of writing exercises for today. I click on my writing exercise link that I've already added, but I would also show you where to find it on Express. So when I click on it, I have a couple of writing exercises. So for example, design a poster to illustrate a grammar concept. Design a web page to share a strong claim or analysis and evidence. Design a poster to illustrate figure of speech, etc. Let's say I go with the first one, which is a simple one. Design a poster to illustrate a grammar concept. So in this particular lesson plan, what we are going to do is, so as we were talking about, and Tim also left us with this teaching resource, I click on the lesson plan bit and I'm able to see all the steps very clearly jotted down for me. So the learning objective for this plan will be that the students will be able to identify the features and correct usage of grammar concepts. And then we have a couple of steps that I can follow. We can first explore the grammar concept, and then we can create something of a grammar concept using a remixable template. Now, I would like the teachers to know that every time आप कोई भी lesson plan यहाँ से download करेंगे, you will find 3 things in it. आपके lesson plan में हमेशा एक PDF होगा, which will be your lesson plan. So when I'm downloading this to my device, just give me a second. I will open it up for you so that you all can see. So it will have a lesson plan. Along with the lesson plan, it will have couple of resources that you can use in the lesson plan, and it will have a student sample to create. For example, इसमें हमें create करना था a poster to illustrate a grammar concept. So when I go to the student sample, it will show me that this is the kind of output that is expected from the students when they create something on Express. So that is why the student sample is given already to you in this lesson plan. Similarly, if I talk about the second thing, which is basically a remixable template, so that the students are not lost, the teachers are not lost. So एक template already बना हुआ आपके लिए open हो जाएगा, जिसको use करके you can start acting on it and you can start working on it. So for example, I want to work on, apart from nouns, I want to work on verbs today. So I can start editing and I can start putting in my content, my information in it. The third part is you will always find an evaluation rubric. तो आपका evaluation rubric will be in place where you can see that मेरा जो भी मैं creation कर रहे हैं उसके basis पे the content, how was the content, student का content उसमें जो उन्होंने लिखा था, how was it good enough, do they still need to improve that, how were the soft skills of the student, how were the media skills of the student. So that is what is needed. And that is what is needed for the teachers to evaluate a particular student on a particular lesson plan that the teachers have used in the classroom. So yeah, this is where you will find all the activities. I'm going to go back to my Adobe Education Exchange. And again, I'm going to show you a couple of more resources. So if I scroll down, you can see there are a lot of resources that you can explore while working on Express. And you can see you can explore more resources by these little links that you find. And then of course you can go to teaching resources and यहाँ पे भी आप search bar में type कर सकते हैं आप जो भी search करना चाहते हैं. For example, let's say I'm looking for arts resources today. I can type in arts and press enter. And यहाँ पे I will start finding in arts resources as well. So I will say I want to find art teaching resources of all ages, let's say only secondary, and I will type in my subject, click the subject, arts and design, and I want only Express resources. So all the Express resources would open up for me. For example, design a poster to illustrate a modern art concept, or design a collaborative activity to building writing skills. So these are all art examples for me that I can pick from. Niharika, do we have any more questions?
No, thank you, Jasmeet. Thank you so much.
All right. I would also like to bring to your notice that we have a step-by-step login process. So for all the teachers जिन्होंने आज access करा है Adobe Express for the first time, or even the teachers who might have forgotten कि Adobe Express में कैसे login करते हैं, this is the step that you need to follow. You can navigate to this link. The link will also be provided in the chat box to you all. Once you are done with that, the step 2 is please provide your CBSE Shiksha email ID or your CBSE digital email ID. And for the teachers and schools which इसी पे ही काम करना चाहूंगी, so I can just click on this और मैं इसको edit करके my favorite So I'm typing my favorite history figure, and then I can remove all of this and I can add more and more slides and create whatever I want to create. तो अगर आपको इस presentation को और beautify करना है तो of course आप यहाँ से media, text, elements वगैरह वगैरह add भी कर सकते हैं. So this is how you create a presentation. And again, the same steps आप share कैसे करेंगे by clicking on the share button. And यहाँ पे share button पे click करके you can say that I want to publish it to web, and then you can publish this and share the link with us. So that's how you will work on today's activity, that is assignment 3. The project is going to be 1 poster or a graphic highlighting a key quote. 2nd, a short presentation on the achievements of a historical or a scientific figure. Niharika, do we have any questions coming in?
There are a couple of questions regarding how they can access educational resources. Yeah, you have rightly opened the page also. Can you just walk them through?
Yes, sure. So this is a screenshot that I have put of Adobe Education Exchange. But आप Adobe Education Exchange पे कैसे जा सकते हैं? I will just show you in a moment. So for that, आप अपने browser पे type करेंगे edex.adobe.com. This is the website, edex.adobe.com. आप जैसे ही इस वेबसाइट का नाम टाइप करेंगे और you will press enter, that's when you will start seeing the Adobe Education Exchange website. इस वेबसाइट पे आते ही you will see your name, and then you can start discovering all the free teaching resources for your class. So for example, if I want to say find resources and I click on it, I will on the left side be able to see what kind of resources I'm looking at. For example, आज मुझे say I choose all the subjects, but I say कि मुझे सिर्फ Express के resources देखने हैं, so I'll delete everything else and I will only see Express resources. I will pick up one chapter from here, one lesson plan from here. So for example, let's just very quickly pick up one of these. What do you like? Web page. There is activities. There is again a multimedia biography of a historical character. This is very similar to जो आप आज activity आपको मिला है, a biography of a historical figure. So you can click on any of these. ये resource बिल्कुल free है to download. So you can download this free resource and save it with you. And then once you download it, you will be able to see this lesson plan that you can go through. Once you go through the lesson plan steps, you will be able to create a student sample. This is the student sample. I click on the web page. I will be able to see what the student has created as a multimedia story. So this is opening up for me. You all can see. And then at the last, I also have an editable template just in case I don't know where to start from. So अगर आपको नहीं समझ में आ रहा कि blank canvas में कहाँ से शुरू करना है, तो आपके लिए already एक editable template भी है. So you can work on that as well. And that's how you go to Adobe Education Exchange. And whenever you click on this logo, you are redirected to the home page. And वहाँ पे भी आप बहुत सारे featured collections में से बहुत सारे resources निकाल सकते हैं. So you see, teach anything with Adobe, unleash creativity with generative AI, get started with Adobe Express Classroom Ideas. ये मैंने आपको सबसे first जो link खोला था ये वही है, teaching digital media, etc. So this is where you will find all of those lesson plans. And I think because we're left with the last 5 minutes of our session today, I would now like to show you the QR code for our attendance and feedback form. Please scan this QR code and you will also find the link to this particular form in your chat box as well. Please go to this link right now. And you can also find this link later attached in our webpage as well that is shared with you that has all the resources. आप वहाँ पे भी जाके उसको access कर सकते हैं. Please scan this, share your feedback with us so that your attendance is also recorded and we know that you have attended our session for today. And then later when you find time, please make sure to submit your assignment so that we have submissions from your end and we can go through those submissions. Niharika, any more questions that should be addressed?
No, thank you, Jasmeet.
All right. While everybody is scanning the QR code and going to the link of our feedback form, I would also like to remind you all that people who had already joined us know that we have created these educator manuals for you all. And Niharika is going to post the link for the webpage where you will find those educator manuals. Now, those educator manuals for grade 6 and 7, we will also be adding grade 8 very soon. But in grade 6 and 7, already आपके पास इंग्लिश साइंस सोशल साइंस और आईसीटी की हैंडबुक है, एक एजुकेटर मैनुअल है जिसमें आप लेसन प्लान्स देख सकते हैं एंड आप उन लेसन प्लान्स को गो थ्रू करके अपने क्लासरूम में भी यूज कर सकते हैं. इफ यू वांट आई कैन आल्सो शो यू one of those lesson plans right away. Just give me a second. I will start presenting my screen again. Till then, I request you all to click on the link that is provided to you all in the chat box so that you are able to fill the feedback form and you have the link handy with you all. All right, I have the educator handbook with me. Just allow me a second. So this is the educator handbook that I've opened up for you all. This is a science handbook for grade 6. If I scroll, I will see that I have lesson plans that are aligned to NCF and have my chapters, and I can take my students through this lesson plan as well. So design a timeline showcasing growth in humans. You have the reference of where this chapter was picked up from. You have the learning objectives. You have steps on how to start with your students, what to make them learn, what to read, what to create, etc. And then by the end, you have a student sample, you have an activity, you have evaluation rubric to evaluate your students on the same. Similarly, you will see other lesson plans of science as well. Design a flyer showcasing an animal and its habitat. So you can design a flyer on that. The student has done some beautiful work. You can see design a flyer promoting nutritious and healthy food. Again, we have some beautiful work that has been submitted by the students. So you can see all of these lessons have specially been created for educators like you, and you should all definitely make use of this. I'm opening up another manual, which is of social science. And you all can see that in the social science manual, we have the first chapter as complete a worksheet. Then we have another chapter which talks about design a newsletter, such an amazing way to bring creativity in the classrooms for you all. So I would request you to go to your webpage that has been sent to you, and you will be able to see and access all of this. Thank you so much. And I think with that, we can close our session for today. Thank you, everybody, for joining in from all parts of India. We all are very happy that you have been attending this series. We are left with 3 more sessions, and we will meet next Thursday with a brand new session. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful evening.